John Corbett again. And today, we are going to talk about a topic which covers your ideas during filmmaking. Today we are going to talk about rating systems. First of all, there are no rating systems back then, as you can see that movies will have to require censorship before they were invented. After years later, MPAA decided to add 3 ratings for films, G, PG, and R. In the 80s, they had a problem with movies containing some graphic violence were released being rated PG, so they came up by adding PG-13. And later, NC-17 was added, and this system was completed. The rating system during filmmaking has to do with questions like how much you use, should you censor it, or will it affect your movie of getting a higher rating? Let's start with the usage of the adult elements. These elements works out for your rating, which depends on how much of the bad language you use, how many drug references, how much violence is used, or how much blood was used for your film. Here is some examples of how it can affect your work. Let's ask for a guest who works with horror monsters, and his name is Zach. Zach, what kind of movie would you make could affect your rating?
Okay, so I'm a huge Shrek fan, right? So if I make a movie about an ugly troll who lives in a giant tree with a sick dragon, would that movie get R rating?
Nope, a movie about an ugly troll living in a giant tree was not considered of getting an R rating, and it would receive a PG rating for this content. However, if I make a movie about a crazy man who chases people with a chainsaw, that would be a problem. Because it takes too much of the adult elements, and that movie would receive an R rating for the movie's concept. On the next step will be the use of censorship. Censorship is the most important part for movies, which helps you to prevent your movie of getting risk of R rating. For example, if you have over 400 swear words used in your film, it will get an NC-17 rating, meaning many theaters won't play your movie. To prevent this, you can also use fake censors or substitute words instead, but just don't use actual swear words or using actual beeps because it would not appeal to kids. If it was on text, you can also replace them with random symbols to make it look like a swear word, but don't try to put existing letters in between your swears. Another example for censorship would be sex and violence. For sex, you can also put them in 2 bands, such as the one in Sesame Street. And for violence, you can also change the color of blood into something non-human, or you can actually make the character not dying at all. And the final step of the rating systems, would it will affect your movie, or would it will get an R rating if you use too much of the elements? For example, if I calculate the violence from that show, and it uses too much of the elements, showing too much blood, that is not a PG-13 hit. Just to remember, it's not highly appropriate for teens. It uses a lot, not a small portion, but because if a lot of blood was there, it would result in a rating for the work's content. So, have you learned anything about it, Zach?
I guess that was it.
And remember, it depends on which kind of rating you have, or whatever work you have been working. Make sure to follow these rules so that if your work was PG. Thanks for watching.